In the interest of time, let's get started. So in yesterday's session, we saw how the graphic design has to be prepared. Today, we are going to talk about voice, podcasting, and storytelling. So in case you are using the audio or the video, there has to be a storytelling, right? So why storytelling? Because people are able to connect to it and they are able to relate to it, right? So your story should have a beginning, it should have a middle, and it should have an end. In the beginning, you introduce the characters and the setting, who is in the story, where it is happening. And in the middle, you talk about something that is happening. For example, a problem, a challenge, or an adventure. This is where the excitement actually builds. And then towards the end, you show how the problem gets solved and the characters learn something important. In case of business idea, let's say a student wants to start a lemonade stand, right? He speaks about the challenges he has faced, that no customers are there, and then he learns to advertise and succeed, right? That's the storytelling format. In the storytelling, you should use the appropriate characters, appropriate setting, and there has to be some conflict, right? Now, when I say characters, the characters could be people, it could be animals, it could even be objects that can bring your story to life. Okay. Settings, the place where your story is going to happen. It could be classroom, it could be park, it could be online world, it could be space, it could be anything. And a conflict is needed because that will tell the problem is there and that needs to be solved. The problems could be there are no customers, the items are lost, new challenges. Now, when you bring the conflict, you bring the problem, it keeps the audience interested in your story. Last thing, keep it simple and relatable. You can use the everyday examples from your friends, classmates, so that they're able to connect. You should always try to avoid making the story too complicated. Have one or two main characters, that should be good enough, right? And whenever you are preparing any of these collaterals, including the audio storytelling, always think, if I tell this to my friend, will they understand it or will they have difficulty understanding it? For example, um, you can have a short story about trying to finish the homework while the internet is down. It's a very simple, relatable, and also funny, right? Think about your favorite short story and try to break it down into three parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. If you do this, you will be able to see how the storytelling happens in action. Now let's look at what are the elements of a great story. Always, okay, a good story should make the people listen, remember, and connect with your idea, whatever business idea you're having. You need to have a hook that will grab the attention at the start. It could be a question, it could be a surprising fact, or it could be a bold statement. For example, one can say, I want to start a bakery. Other way, you can create this into a hook and say, what if you could eat a cake that makes you smarter before the exams? You know, the hook will make your listener curious and would want to know more about this. The second element is the emotion. Your listeners should feel something. People will remember how you make them feel. They may not remember the entire story always, but they will remember how they felt when they saw or heard this story. We should use the words, tone, examples that should bring excitement, happiness, and even suspense. For example, I remember standing in the rain with no umbrella, and that's when I thought of my idea. So that emotion keeps your audience engaged to it. They'll be curious about what happened next. And last element is the message. You should share the lesson out of that or the idea, but it should be clear. Every story should leave the audience with one simple takeaway. For example, that's why I want to build an app that delivers umbrellas in 5 minutes, right? Keep it short, keep it clear, and keep it easy to repeat. The message is what your listener will remember and share wherever they go, talk, to remember you. Think of your favorite movie or cartoon. Can you identify its hook, the emotions it made you feel, and the final message? I'm not sure if you all like Tom and Jerry, but any of the episode that you can pick up, try to identify its hook, the emotions that you got when you saw that particular episode, and what was the final message, right? If you do this, observe this, you will see how storytelling is actually baked into our daily lives, knowingly or unknowingly. And that is where you actually consume such a content because the storytelling was really nice. All right. So today we are going to talk about podcasting and all other things. So your voice comes into picture. Okay. Your voice can express the emotions. The way you speak shows happiness or excitement or sadness or seriousness or whatever emotions you want to convey. For example, you say, I did it with the energy that makes people feel your joy. But you can say this, I did it in several ways. You can show excitement, oh, I did it. Or it could be a very sad expression, oh, I did it. So, using your voice, you can convey the emotions appropriately. Your voice is like a musical instrument, it can make people feel connected. Now, while you can speak whatever you want to speak, what matters is what is the tone, what is the speed, and how many pauses do you take so that it is becoming interesting. Now, when I say tone, it is high or the low pitch that can change the meaning. High pitch could be seen as serious, the low pitch could be seen as playful. Speed, talking too fast is hard to follow, and talking too slow is too boring. So you have to find a balance. Right pace at which you are going to talk will create a differentiator. I'll tell you an interesting fact. A Malayali person, Indian Malayali person, can speak 10 times as fast as a typical American. That is why they feel a little struggling to follow Indian Malayalis when they are speaking. And if you look at the people who are in UK versus the people in US, you will see there is a drastic difference between the pace. Okay, now when you're speaking, make sure you're pronouncing the words very clearly. This pronunciation is very, very important and you have to practice it. Speak each word clearly so everyone understands. You should avoid mumbling wherever possible. Open your mouth and breathe deeply. You should practice tongue twisters like she sells seashells on the seashore. When you do this, you will get a control over it or on your tongue. You will be able to speak the words clearly. Reading these stories aloud daily improves your clarity and confidence. Make it a habit that you read at least one paragraph daily so that your diction improves, the pronunciation improves. Let's do a small activity. Any one of you can volunteer. This sentence, I can't believe this happened. You have to speak this sentence in three different ways. First, you have to show the emotions as excited. Second, you have to show the emotions as angry. And the third, you have to show the expression as surprised. Who will volunteer for this? Let's do this activity. Abhinav, Vedika, Vishakha, anyone? Come on, you have to volunteer. Or you can speak without switching on your camera. So let's see your voice modulation. Let's see how you bring out the emotions when you say the same sentence in three different emotions. Abhinav, you want to give it a try?
Okay, sir. Sir, for excited, uh, I can't believe this happened.
Okay.
Uh, for
Angry
for angry, I can't believe this happened.
and for surprised.
I can't believe this happened.
Okay. While the variation was very little between all the three, Vedika and Vishakha, do you want to try? Any one of you? Vishakha, you unmuted for a flash and then you were muted again.
Okay, excited. Uh, I can't believe this happened. For angry, I can't believe this happened. For surprise, uh, uh, I can't believe this happened.
Okay. The variation was quite low. I think some practice would certainly help.
Yes,
When you're
yes.
excited, I can't believe this happened. Angry, I can't believe this happened. And surprised, I can't believe this happened. See, when you say the intonation, emotion should come from the way it is heard. Okay? The tone, the pauses, that will completely change the meaning. A little practice and you will be able to do that. Great job. Okay, now practicing. One, you said with some emotions you may have felt, but that was not felt to the audience. So the best thing is you record and then you hear it back. And how do you record your voice? You can use your phone, you can use your laptop, you can simply use your mic, right? Every smartphone has a built-in voice recorder. It's very easy and portable. Wherever you find peace, silent place, open the voice recorder, record your voice and think about this is the emotion I want to convey. Pick one sentence, try to say it in that emotion, and then you can hear it back. If you're using a laptop, you can use the apps like Audacity, or you can use Zoom or Google Meet to record. Or if you have a microphone, you can, a small clip-on mic can certainly improve the sound quality. It's optional, but if you have a mic, you can record it with whatever gadget you have. Always find a quiet spot so that you avoid the noise and you can hear yourself very clearly. Preferably a closed room is good. Windows and doors closed so that no external noise is coming. You can have the curtains or the cushions or the blankets in the room so that it will reduce the echo. Avoid the fans, TVs, or the background conversation so that the voice is very, very clear. And you can put your phone or a laptop on a table to reduce the handling the noise. This is one of the tips. Do not try to record the sound when it is in your hand. Always put it on the table and then record it. You will see the difference and you can try it yourself. And when you're speaking, speak slowly and confidently. Always sit upright, keep the mic 6 to 10 inches away from your mouth. Don't have to rush, pause after important points. If you see all the public speakers, whenever they have made an important point, they will always pause so that the audience is able to consume that important point that they have articulated just now. And you should always smile while speaking. It makes your voice sound very friendly. You should practice once before recording, then re-record if needed. And in the initial, you might need 2 or 3 iterations. When you are used to it, 1 or 2 iterations is good enough to get the good quality recordings, right? You can actually do activities like make a 2-minute podcast and practice by recording my favorite book or movie in 30 seconds. Okay. Play it back to hear your tone, your speed, your clarity. That is something that you can do to improve your recordings, the way you speak, the intonation, the pitch, all those things. You can use a lot of free apps for recording. Voice recorder, as I said, it's there in the mobile app. Most of these smartphones, be it Android or iOS, both have this. It's very simple. You just press the record button, you start speaking, then you stop, and it's automatically saved. This is good for quick practice and short recordings. On the laptop, you can use Audacity. It's a computer software, free, and it's an open source software. You don't have to pay money. It runs on Windows, Mac, Linux. It lets you record, cut, add effects, clean background noise, a lot of things that you can do. And it's good for editing and improving the sound quality. You can also use Anchor, which is by Spotify. You have the mobile and the web, both versions are there. You get the free podcast creation app. You can record, edit, and publish the episodes directly from your phone. You can add the background music, any sound effects, intro, outro, clips, clapping, etc., whatever you want to add. And the platforms where you can share your podcast, Spotify obviously is there, especially Spotify for podcasters. There's a free tool to upload and distribute the podcast worldwide. Your episodes appear on Spotify automatically. It also gives the listener statistics, who listen to your podcast, from where, and how many people actually listen to it. So you get a sense of who gets interested in the content that you are generating. You can also publish this on SoundCloud. That is also a platform. You can share any kind of audio. It could be songs, podcasts, or these stories. It's very easy to upload. You can share the links with your friends. You can share the links on social media. It also, offers free and paid account for more storage. When you're recording the podcast, you can record it in multiple formats. The most common is MP3. This format is small size and it works on almost all the devices. The other option which used to be there in the earlier versions of the Windows was WAV file. Today also you can record in WAV file, but the file size is larger, but you get a very good sound quality in the WAV files. Some people, they record in WAV and then do all the editing in the WAV itself. Finally, convert this into MP3 so that the size is smaller and it's portable and it works on all the devices. Start with your phone's voice recorder for practice. Then you can move on to Anchor or Audacity if you want to edit and want to make it more professional. Okay. Now you saw the storytelling. Let's see a podcast. Telling anything over the voice is not a podcast. A podcast is like your own radio show on the internet. Anyone can create and share one. You can listen it anytime, anywhere, on your phone, on your laptop, on your smart speakers. The topics can be stories, it can be fun tales, adventures, your experiences. It could be related to learning, science facts, history, self improvement. It could be about interviews. You have the conversation with the experts, your friends, inspiring people, or it could be simply news and updates, the latest events, what's happening in sports, technology, entertainment, etc. But your episodes should be short, 2 to 10 minutes for the beginners. And if you want to go for the deeper discussions, you can have a little longer, but don't go beyond 60 minutes. 30 to 60 minutes is the typical for deeper discussions. And podcasts are usually released regularly. It could be um, coming once in a week, once in 2 weeks. It could even be daily podcast, but those are very rare. But you could have the daily as well. Make sure your listeners know when to expect a new episode. Rather than being random, there has to be a pace at which you are publishing these so that they know, they are curious about, oh, when is the next episode coming. Now, many successful podcasters, what they do, they build a community of listeners who will keenly wait for each new episode. You can also do the same thing. Imagine you start a podcast called Young Eco Champions. Every week, you share a 3-minute tip on saving the environment. You will see your friends and other kids may start following it just like a favorite YouTube channel. Give it a try. Choose the topic that is very close to you and you are very passionate about the topic. Initiate a podcast. Try to do this for at least 10 episodes and see how many people get connected to you, how many people start following you. Okay, then, all right. So, just like the storytelling, podcast also has a structure to it. You start with the introduction, which should be typically around 20 to 30 seconds. Greet your audience very warmly. For example, hello everyone, welcome to my very first podcast. And then go on introducing yourself very briefly. For example, I am Nitin, I am the student of class 12th, and I love reading and sharing the stories. And then tell the topic so that listeners know what to expect. For example, today I am going to tell you about podcast and storytelling and why it matters in business. Right? Then you move on to the middle part, which is the main story. This is the main content that you will be projecting through this content. This should be typically around 1 to 1.5 minutes. And this is the heart of your podcast. Okay. You can start with a story. Tell a story which is funny, inspiring, or real life, connected to your business idea. Okay. Don't lose the focus why you are creating this. For example, once my friends and I wanted to sell handmade bookmarks. At first, no one was interested. But then we tried making custom designs and suddenly everyone wanted it. Or you can create an advertisement style script for your notes for your product and services. For example, introducing eco notes, notebooks made from recycled paper. Save trees while writing your dreams. Right? Always use the voice expressions. You can change your tone, add excitement, slow down for important points. If possible, have the background music, keep it light, or you could have the sound effects, for example, a clap or a cheer or a bell to make it lively. People should get interested into it. Once your main story or content is covered in 1.5 minutes, then you should focus on the closing. Closing should also be very similar to introduction, 20 to 30 seconds. And remember, in the graphics we saw, there has to be a CTA, call to action. Your podcast should also have a CTA. First of all, thank your listeners for their time. Um, a simple sentence like thank you for listening to my podcast today makes a great difference. And then articulate what is the call to action. For example, if you like this story, share it with your friends. Don't forget to support eco-friendly products like mine. Stay tuned for the next episode. or follow my page, whatever be the call to action, it has to be articulated. I'll give you an example. I'll read out a simple text. This is for a 2-minute podcast. See how it is structured. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Arav. I study in class 7, and today I want to share an exciting idea with you. Imagine a world with less plastic waste. Sounds amazing, right? Well, my business idea is to make reusable water bottles that keep water cool all day. Once during a summer trip, my plastic bottle broke, and I thought, why not make strong bottles that look stylish too? That's how my idea started. Thank you for listening. If you care about the environment, tell your friends about reusable bottles and join me in reducing plastic waste. See you in the next episode. So, this is a simple script that runs for 2 minutes and it follows the structure: greeting, main story, where you use the voice expressions, and then the closing with the call to action. Okay. When you do this, practice this a few times, you will be able to speak confidently and you will be able to finish this within 2 minutes. Okay. Now, before I move ahead, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now that you have understood the structure of storytelling, you have understood the story of a mini podcast, here is what you need to do in your assignment. You have to record a 2-minute audio story or an advertisement for your business idea. Okay. And here's how you are going to do. First of all, plan your story or the advertisement that you want to record. Think about your business idea and then decide, do you want to tell a short story about how your product helps the people, or you want to make an advertisement to attract the customers? Whatever you choose, write down a mini script with 3 parts: introduction, telling who you are and what's your product, then the main message, why people should use it, and then have a closing, thanking these listeners, and have a CTA, call to action. Once this is done, go on and record your audio. You can use your phone's voice recorder, you can use your laptop mic, or you can use any of the free apps like Anchor or Audacity. Sit in a quiet place with less background noise. Speak clearly, slowly, and with energy. Okay. You can be creative. It is optional, but I would encourage that you should add your creativity into it by adding the background music. A lot of free tracks that you can get from YouTube library, you can get it from Anchor, you can get it from InShot app or whatever app that you're using. Most of them give the um, free tracks for the background music. Make sure music, the volume of the music is lesser than the volume of your voice, so that it does not over overwhelm the audience by focusing on music and not focusing on what you're speaking. Make sure it is well balanced. You can use the sound effects, the claps, cheers, or the ambient sounds wherever it is necessary. You can change your tone of voice to make it fun and engaging. And then you share your work, save it as an audio file. It can be MP3, it can be voice note, and then you share it, not share it, you submit it as an assignment. In this assignment, you will get the option to upload the audio files. So most of the formats will be available. In case you have a format that is not supported by the Google form and you're struggling and you're not able to convert this into MP3, let me know. We'll figure out a way how we can get your submission onto it. Keep it for 2 minutes, not more than 2 minutes, your assignment. You should be smiling while you're speaking, although it's audio, but when you're smiling and speaking, your voice will sound very friendlier. And imagine that you're talking directly to your customer and not just practicing. Okay. All these things will make a difference. You should first record, listen to it, and see what improvements I should be doing. Once you're satisfied, you have incorporated all the changes, record it, and then submit as an assignment. For example, if we take the example of that of the heavy bags that the kids are carrying. So, hello, welcome to Eco Kits, where we make eco-friendly school bags. Tired of heavy plastic bags? Our bags are strong, light, and save the planet. Order now and join the green revolution. Can be as simple as this. Okay, but make sure it is following the formats that you have learned in today's module. So, what are the key takeaways that you learned from this module? Your voice is a very powerful tool. Use it appropriately. The way you speak, pause, and emphasize the words can make people listen and remember your message. Practice will make you better. The more you record and listen to yourself, the more confident and natural you will become. Mistakes are very normal. Every podcaster improves over time. Then share your ideas with the world. The stories, the knowledge, the creativity, it can inspire someone sitting miles away. A simple podcast can connect you with the friends, connect with you, the classmates, even people in the other countries. And your voice can become your brand. Many young creators today started with just their phones and ideas. With consistency, you can actually build a personal identity and even start your own podcast channel or a digital venture in the future. Remember, you don't need any expensive equipment, just your voice, your ideas, and the courage to share them. That's good enough to start a podcast. Okay. And we are there to support you. If you need any additional help, you need guidance, reach out to us. WhatsApp is the best mechanism. And follow our LinkedIn page. A lot of stories, what all is happening with this NGO. Keep on posting. You will be amazed to see what amazing work our NGO is doing in all other fields: education, health, environment, and community development. We'll also see some of these stories around these sessions as well. Any questions, Vedika, Vishakha, Abhinav?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. So today's session was quite small. I'll give you time so that you can record, practice, and do all these things. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.